Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 3 of the Ice of March tournament for your Findlay Trojans. They will be in their away blue uniforms, facing the Gilmour Gladiators in gray. This is the fifth matchup between these two teams over the course of the season. Series is tied up with a win and a loss and two ties for each team. Puck is dropped. Mason Beach takes face off. Harrison Shape comes, fires a shot off the rip, just goes wide. Hank Schwab over along the boards, along with Mason Cooper. Gilmour collects that, tries to bring it out of the zone, but nice back checking by the Trojans. Beach holds it up a little bit. Gilmour then to the middle. Beach has it, pokes it behind the net. Interference call coming as Beach got taken out in front of the goal. And so we'll get an early look at a Trojan power play here. As going to the box for Gilmour, number 14. So that'll be a minute penalty. here in this tournament. So we'll go back down length of the ice. Mason Cooper takes face off for the Trojans. Gets that back to Ricky Nichols at the point. Gets that over to Fort. Back to Nichols. Nichols gets that down to Cooper, down in the corner. Back to Nichols. Back down to Cooper. Cooper gets across ice to River Archer. Archer fires a shot. That's a goal! Power play goal! The drought is broken, and the Findlay Trojans score. They are 1-0 against Gilmour. So now Henry Homewood out to take the face off. He'll have Burkhart and Peter Koski with him. Sloan and Teagarden back on defense. Henry Yates in net for this game for the Trojans. Puck is dropped. Kick back. Sloan's got it. Oh, tried to make a move on it. Lost in the middle. Teagarden there, though. Pokes that puck away. That comes towards Yates. He kicks it aside. Sloan collects. He's going to push forward now. Gets it out of the zone. Tried to move forward with the puck. Then puck knocked back down. And that's going to be an icing. So we'll have a face-off now down to the glove hand side of Yates. So change the box, Mace, or Andy Beach, man in the penalty box for the Trojans tonight. Puck is dropped. Gets that over to Teagarden, then to Sloan, who moves it up the boards to Burkhart. Burkhart racing down for it. That's going to be an icing, though, as that went a little too far and couldn't catch up to it. And we've got the Findlay cheerleaders down here. We'll get back to it. Puck is dropped. Homewood gets that back to Sloan. Sloan wraps that hard around the boards. Collected by Gilmour, but then knocked aside by Teagarden. Sloan collects. He reverses behind the net. Sends it up the middle. Tried to find Burkhart. Burkhart pokes that aside to Homewood, but then off his stick, so Sloan's got it now. Sloan moves it up the boards to Burkhart. He's still got the puck through neutral zone. He pushes it into the offensive zone and trying to back check there as well as Gilmour comes across for a shot. That hits Teagarden. Nice block by Teagarden. And Peter Koski has it. He's going to move that up to Homewood. Homewood's going to push that forward to Burkhart. Burkhart now on a little bit of a break. He takes it to the outside. Stick gets lifted, but he's still got it. Gets it back to Teagarden. Teagarden now fires a shot. Save. Nice shot by Teagarden there. And a save by the Gilmour goaltender. Some good offensive pressure early by the Trojans here. Mason Beach comes out with Schwab and Schaaf, Nichols and Fort back on defense. Gets that back to Nichols. Nichols fires a shot that hits a stick. Trying to chip it out, but Schwab was there. Now Gilmour collects, and they're going to push through. Looks like a 3-on-3 here as Beach hustles back on the back check. Nice job by Fort to edge him out. Beach then chips it up the boards. Nichols racing for it. Shot hits Beach. Comes out to Schwab. Schwab's going to get that out of the zone. He's going to push forward. Try to find Beach cutting through the middle. Just underneath his stick. Harrison back there on the forecheck as well. And then Fort knocks that aside. Nice job by Fort in the neutral zone. Seeing a man cutting behind him. Now Fort hangs along the boards and then gets that up to Schwab. Schwab tries to chip that forward, then hits a Gilmour player. Schwab there, though, collects the puck. Gets across center ice, sends that in deep as the Trojans will pursue on the dump and chase. Back down to the opposite corner it goes. Bounces over the stick, but collected by Cooper. Cooper's battling. He gets tripped up. Both players fall. No call there. Gilmour centering, pass out in front. Beach there. Beach tried to chip it forward, and we're going to have a penalty now. And it was on Gilmour touching it. No, that's going to be on Cooper. They're going to call Cooper for the trip, even though he was the first one that fell. So we'll get a look at the Trojan penalty kill here as River Arch comes out with Ben Grace. Take this face off right in front of us. Gets that back to Nichols. Nichols cycles. Plays it off the boards in the corner. Gilmour tried to center. That came out to Grace. Grace tried to kick that to the side. Gilmour collects, throws it back down into the corner. Fort now, nice play along the boards. Puck out in front, now loose. Sent out by Fort, out of the zone. Gilmour's going to have to reset here. Gilmour errant pass across the defense. Backhands it back into the zone. Nichols down there. Tried to put the brakes on it and spin. He's still battling for the puck down in the corner. Centering pass. Mishandled. Ben Grace comes out with it. He's got one man to beat. He goes to the outside. He's coming back to his left hand. Tries to pull it back. Hits the skate of a Gilmour player. It's now centering pass out. Gilmour coming up through the right side here. Tries to get a shot. Nice save by Yates with the kick pad. Or with the leg, and then kicked out in front, tipped wide. Eddie Homewood with it now. Plays that up along the boards. That's going to go out of the zone. Gilmour is forced to reset again. Cooper comes out of the box. Now collected by Homewood. Homewood gets it up to Archer. Archer tips it out of the zone. Comes back into the zone. Ricky Nichols has it now. He's going to make a man miss, and now he's going to find a little bit of room, and he's going to go back to the outside, lose his footing, but follow the puck. Now comes out Peter Koski, stops it along the boards, dumps it back down into the corner. That gets flipped along the opposite side by Gilmour, so opposite corner. Findlay pursuing. They get it out of the zone, does Gilmour. That's going to go down the length of the ice, and that should be an icing. No, they waved it off. No idea why that was waved off, but Sloan's going to collect it, and he's going to push up now. And he's got a head of steam. He's just chipped that up to Burkhart. Burkhart coming off the bench. Burkhart's going to get that over back to Sloan. Oh, shot! Still loose in front. Now behind, wrapped around the net. Eddie Homewood keeps it in. He's going to backhand that towards the corner. Gilmour's going to play that along the boards. Burkhart stick lift. That comes out to Peter Koski. He tried to get around for a shot. There's Homewood. He tried to get a shot. That comes out to Sloan. Sloan's going to fire one. Tipped in front. Homewood tried to get a stick on it. Peter Koski and Homewood down there in the corner. That comes back out to Sloan. He's going to fire a shot. Oh, it's a pass down to Homewood. Burkhart now in the corner battling for it. Holds it up a little bit along with Homewood. Eddie Homewood over there in the boards as well. That comes out to George Homewood. He makes a man miss. Oh, puck goes just off of his stick. He battles along the boards, gets that out to the front. Oh, Burkhart skate. Still loose, and they call it dead. A lot of action there. Good offensive pressure by the Trojans. And we'll get a line change as Mason Beach comes out with Schwab and Shea. Sloan and Teagarden back on defense. Puck is dropped. They're fighting for it in the middle. Gilmour comes out with it. Looking on the break. Nice poke check there, and that's an offsides as Teagarden steps up with a great poke check and creates the offsides. Now Beach on the face-off. Gilmour comes out with it from the middle, fires a shot, goes high above the goal. Yates was ready. That comes around to Schwab. Schwab's going to now try and chip that out. He does. He gets it down, but not far enough for an icing. That's waved off, and Gilmour collects. Beach there on the pursuit. Center ice pass by Gilmour. Sloan poke checks that away. Gilmour follows with a shot. Gloved away by Yates. And now throwing that up off the boards was Schwab rather. Schwab collects it back, sends it back into the zone. We're going to have an offsides even though that hit the referee's skate. And we'll get a line change. At least on defense as Nichols and Fort come out. Mason Beach take the face off. That goes back to the defense of Gilmour. They send it to the outside. Ricky Nichols is there, plays that. Nice little poke there, gets that up. Tried to get it around the next player, but then that got caught up. Henry Fort there, he slaps it back down into the neutral zone. Fort and Nichols working on that side. Now Mason Beach has it. Oh, that gets tipped away. And then, nice serve by Yates on the breakaway attempt. And then chipped down by Schwab as he's pursuing. That hits a player, now collected by Nichols. Nichols waiting for everybody to clear. Then backhands that into the zone deep. Good job there by Nichols. Good heads-up awareness. then playing it against the boards, and Gilmour gets it out, and now it's a skate race. Nichols is racing for it. He's going to get there first. He's going to take that around the net. And nice little move. He makes guy dangle. He got tripped up. No call. And then a shot gloved away by Yace, and then the rebound is Eric, and then he gets hooked up again. Does Cooper gets hooked. And then Schwab there battling for the puck. And then set aside by Gilmour. Gilmour looking for a shot. They send that high. They go towards the middle. And now Schwab's going to move that down. That's going to almost exit the zone. Now Schwab's got it. He gets it over to Cooper. Cooper's going to reassess. And he's going to wrap, and he's going to beat a couple players. He's going to skate through the middle now. He's going to find some more room as he's got Archer and Grace out there with him. They're joining him. He's going to come up close. He's going to fire a shot. That goes off of a player for Gilmour. He gets hit in the head with a stick. No call there. That comes up front. That gets dumped down into the zone. And they're going to call an icing on that, even though that hit a bunch of players. So no icings when we need it, but we get a random icing here. So we'll have a face-off down to the glove hand side of the Gilmour goaltender. Mason Cooper takes face-off, tried to get that over to his forward. And now errant pass. Ben Grace going to pick that up. He gets knocked down from the back there. No call, but River Archer gets it back up to Grace. Grace pushing forward with it. Nice job by Grace. That puck goes down to the corner. Gilmour collects. Gilmour looking to break out of their zone. Centering pass for Gilmour. Offsides. We've got our cheerleaders over here. Puck is dropped. Mason Cooper with the face-off. That puck goes down to the middle. Nice job there by Eddie Homewood holding that up. That comes out in front, stick to side. Good work there by Cooper and Teagarden. Centering pass. Cooper picks it up. He's going to spin and reverse. He's going to play that off the boards to Archer. Archer going to try to tip that out of the zone, but Gilmour keeps it in. Sends it back down to the corner. Eddie Homewood back there. He's going to try to go opposite way with it, try to get that to Archer. Archer tried to play that off the boards, but held up by the defense of Gilmour. Gilmour now looking for a centering pass, caught in the skates of Cooper. Then Cooper's got it back from Archer, and now Cooper's going to lead a rush. We got a 3-on-2 developing. Cooper skates around the defense, fires a shot, blocker save. He gets knocked down. Should have been a call there. Cooper gets back up, though. And we'll get a line change for the Trojans here as Homewood, Burkhart, and Peter Koski come out. Sloan and Teagarden on defense. As George Homewood takes his face-off, gets that back to Peter Koski. He tips into the zone, back to Homewood. Homewood tried to fight through a couple players, but got poked away. That comes back out to Sloan. Sloan's going to play that up the boards and try to move it forward. Gets it over to Homewood. Homewood gets knocked down. Blatant elbow, no call. Teagarden sticks that aside. Nice job there by Homewood and Teagarden. Teagarden battling. And then sticked aside by Sloan. And now Burkhart's got it. He's got Homewood with him. He's going to push up. Fire one on net. That gets stick saved aside. Burkhart tries to play that in the corner. Gilmour collects. Sloan comes down on the pinch. Now Gilmour brings it out of the zone, but sticked aside by Nichols. Nice job there. Goes cross ice to Burkhart, who's all by himself. Burkhart now dumps it down into the corner. That wraps around the net. Peter Koski's there, sends it back up. Burkhart tried to get a stick on it. Wasn't there in time, though. Now Gilmour looking for it. Cross ice pass. That goes right to Nichols. Nichols makes a man miss, two men miss, and he's going to charge in. He's going to pass that to Peter Koski. Tried to take a shot that block, but Burkhart's down there in the corner now. Going to battle for it. Get that up to Fort. It's going to get that back down to Burkhart. Oh, that hopped under his stick. And now we're going to have a call for a penalty of some sort, as Gilmour goes to the box. So we'll get another Trojan power play here, as number 20 for Gilmour goes to the box. Mason Beach out there now with the Trojans. Take the face off with Schwab and Shea. That goes over to Schwab. Schwab tries to flip that towards the net, loose in front. Oh, and a save as Beach was there, got the backhand on it. Puck is dropped. Beach gets it back to Fort. Fort's got it. He's going to throw that back down into the corner. Beach on the pursuit. That goes back around. Hank Schwab racing for it now too. Schwab, nice work there. Keep it in the zone, but then it gets kicked out. That should be an icing. And it is. So 16.3 seconds left here in the first. Findlay still on the power play for 36 seconds. And we've got another offensive zone face-off. Findlay keeping the pressure on. Puck is dropped. That kicks back, but hits the referee. Loose in front. Gilmour's going to throw that against the board. Nichols is going to race for it, but that should be an icing again, and it is. And we've got 6 seconds left in the period, and we're going to have an offensive zone face-off here again for the Trojans, this time to the blocker side of the Gilmour goaltender. Beach trying to get that back to his teammate. That hits Schwab. Schwab takes a shot. Oh, that hits the Gilmour player in the cage, and that's going to be the end of the first period, rather. But your Findlay Trojans are up 1-0 right now after one. So the teams will meet at the bench, talk some strategy, switch sides. And we'll take a moment to watch our cheerleaders here. Mason Cooper, on the face-off for the Trojans. That gets kicked to the side. River Archer battling for it, along with Sloan over there. That comes out to Grace. Grace has some skating room. He's going to push the puck through the neutral zone. Tried to kick that to the outside. Gilmour pushes it back into neutral zone. Their player out of the penalty box there at full strength now. They get it over to Grace. Grace pokes that into the offensive zone, and he's going to chase down in the corner. Knocked aside, still kept in the zone. Grace tried to keep that in the zone again, but knocked out by Gilmour. Gilmour pursuing, centering pass, broken up by Sloan. Now Sloan's going to collect. He's going to come down. He's going to get around a cross check. He's going to fire one, and it's gloved by the Gilmour goaltender and held on to. So we'll have a face-off to the glove hand side of the Gilmour goaltender here. Homewood out to take face-off. He'll have Peter Koski and Burkhart with him. Teagarden and Sloan back on defense. That goes back to the corner. Gilmour collects, but Peter Koski's there. He gets it over to Homewood. Try to get it over to Burkhart. Burkhart now, got it sticked away from him as he turned to try to get a shot. Now Burkhart, Peter Koski pursuing. Burkhart knocks that back into the zone. against the boards. Now he and Peter Koski fighting in the corner. Teagarden stops down to get it. Comes back out, kept in by Homewood right on the line. Gets it out of Burkhardt. Oh, just rolled off his stick. As he centers a pass, but then we're going to have a penalty of some sort. And that's going to be against Gilmour again. So we'll have another Trojan power play here that starts the second. See if they can find the back of the net here early in the second. Increase this lead. Homewood to take the face off now for the Trojans. Gets that back to the corner. Lifted up. Kept in by Fort. Gets off Homewood, but comes out of the zone. So Nichols has it. They're forced to reset. They're going to play that off the boards. Is Nichols. Then back out. Nichols has it again. Tried to chip it forward. He does. He's going to carry that in. He's going to get that to Peter Koski. Fires a shot. Hits the stick of a Gilmour player, but Peter Koski sticks with it. He's still got it in the corner. Burkhardt in front of the net now in the skates of Peter Koski down in the corner. Burkhardt comes down to help. Now Homewood over there too. Fort pinches down. Fort's got it now. He's looking in front. He finds Homewood. Homewood fires a shot. Oh, that just goes wide. Now Burkhardt covers back as Nichols pinches. Nichols now on the backhand. Oh, covered all the way over. That's going to go down the length of the ice and be an icing by Gilmour. So again, good pressure. 11 seconds left here in the penalty to Gilmour. But good pressure by the Trojans as Schwab and Beach and Schaaf come out now on offense for Findlay. Puck is dropped. Fired along the boards by Gilmour. Fort keeps it in. Gets it back to Schaaf. Schaaf finds Beach in the middle, but that bounces off of his skate. And then that goes through the middle. Nichols had it, but then that ricocheted off of his stick. Now he gets it out to Schwab. Schwab tried to clear the zone, but met by some resistance from Gilmour. Centering pass behind all the players for Gilmour. And now picked up by Beach. Beach is going to try to push forward. Nice job by Beach there. And then centering pass for Gilmour goes wide. Schwab tried to backhand that. Rolled off his stick, but he's still battling along the boards. Gets it up to Schaaf. Schaaf got it, has it in his skates. Tried to flip that out. Now push forward. Gilmour still has it though. Flipped up high. Falls to Ricky Nichols. He gloves it down. Now back to the corner. Centered by Gilmour, but shot goes wide. As Nichols battling, he hits the brakes, goes reverse. Reverses again, makes another guy miss. Tries to get that up to Schaaf, and now kicked out of the zone, and Nichols still with it. He's battling. Makes another guy miss. He's on a breakaway all by himself. Tried to go backhand. Oh, and a save by Gilmour, goaltender. Good move as Ricky was going coast to coast with that. But just couldn't get it high enough above the glove of the sliding goaltender. But we'll freeze it. We'll get a fresh set of legs out here. And we'll have an offensive zone face-off for the Trojans. As Mason Cooper comes out with Grayson Archer. Puck is dropped. Tried to stick that forward. He does. Goaltender for Gilmour. Forced to hold on to it. That little poke right towards the goal. Almost snuck one in there. Again, gets back now on this face-off to Gilmour. They go behind the net. Look to break out. Held up by Grace and by Sloan. Grace still there, battling for it. Gilmour gets it out. Now Gilmour rushing. Puts one on net, stick to side by Yace. Now shot sent aside by Sloan. Sloan makes two guys miss. Comes out with it, pokes it forward. He's racing down to the corner with it. Gilmour's got it. They're going to move it up the zone. Out, Eddie Homewood and Webb Sloan racing. Homewood trying to get there. Nice job by Homewood as the player for Gilmour loses his footing. Shot blocked. Sent behind by Grace. Now tipped back in by Gilmour, or kept in rather. Mason Cooper now behind the net looking for a little bit of room. He's going to play that up the boards to Archer. That comes out to middle of the ice. Then sent back in by Gilmour. Webb Sloan's going to collect this. He's going to go opposite way, push in front of the net, and he's going to skate forward with it. He's going to pull to the inside, then the outside. He's going to look for Archer in front. That got sticked aside. Nice look, though. Then that comes back out to Archer. Archer trying to make a guy miss. Comes out to Homewood. Back to his brother Eddie Homewood. Finds Ricky Nichols off the bench. Nichols tries to go forward with it. And then that gets sent out, and Fort's racing back. He's got one on. Fort's going to collect. Throw that along the boards, collected by Gilmour. Centering pass goes loose. Gilmour's got it. Chipped forward by Archer out of the zone. No tripping. That guy fell on his own. Gilmour fans not happy, but now that goes across the ice. Peter Koski gets that up to Homewood. Homewood now cuts to the middle. Tries to get a shot. Back check by Gilmour. Prevented that, but then that's kept in by Homewood. He's going to skate around a couple people. He lifts one up. Oh, hits the top of the net. Burkhart now behind the net battling for it. That comes off the boards. Burkhart comes out with it. Burkhart reverses. Gets over to Homewood, but oh, that just goes over his skate and comes out. And Gilmour's going to throw that down the opposite side of the ice as Nichols is racing for it. That's probably going to be an icing, and it is. George Homewood take face off for the Trojans. Gets dropped, tried to face off deep through it. Gilmour poked it away. Sends it opposite side. Burkhart and Nichols racing towards the boards. Nichols tried to keep that in. That bounced over his stick. Nice job by Fort to poke that away on the ensuing break. Gets that up. Battling for it again is Fort. Flips it backhand along the boards. Burkhart's over there now in the corner. Burkhart moves it up the boards now. Now back down by Gilmour. Nichols now tried to make a play in the corner. Centering pass by Gilmour, thwarted by Fort with an active foot there. Now centering pass again, shot wide by Gilmour. Peter Koski leaves that for Fort. Fort takes it up to Burkhart. Burkhart now pushing. He gets it over there. George Homewood's racing too. Homewood now trying to make a move on it. He got taken out. He still continues, gets an elbow to the head. No call. And now coming out on a breakaway. And Fort makes a play on the poke check, but they're going to call on that. They're not going to call the elbow, but they're going to call that. No penalty shot awarded. This player did get a shot off. It's now Beach out there with Shea to start his forwards for this penalty kill. Puck is dropped. Beach gets that back to Sloan. Sloan now reverses behind the net. Gets that up to Beach. Beach tried to carry that out of the zone but got poked away, but there was Sloan against the wall. Now centering pass by Gilmour, hits some sticks of Findlay. Another shot by Gilmour on that cross ice pass. That goes wide. Teagarden now battling behind the net. Gilmour tried the wraparound, too shallow, hits the side of the net, and then dumping it back to the opposite corner is Gilmour. Teagarden there battling in the corner. Now tipping it to the opposite side is Gilmour, now back behind the net, but Sloan's there. Tried to make a play on it. He's got two Gilmour guys on his back, and he thwarts them both, but then the puck bounces around, so he's still battling in the corner with it, with two Gilmour players. Beach came out to help. Shot, low shot, great kick save by Yace. Then getting that up the boards was Sloan. Beach on the forecheck. Fort coming out of the box. That comes out to Beach. Beach is going to send that up. Tried, oh! As taken out was Cooper, no call. Teagarden now in the corner, gets that up the boards, try to get that to Chase. Back to Teagarden. Teagarden gets that out to the middle. That's going to leave the zone, so having to come out and reset is Gilmour. They're going to dump it back into the zone. Webb Sloan's going to collect this behind the net. He's going to fire that over. Played by Gilmour. Nope, they're going to say icing. So we'll get fresh sets of legs out here now. As Cooper, Archer, and Schwab are out there now. With Eddie Homewood and Henry Fort. Fort's got that, wraps it around to Schwab. Schwab gets held up. Cooper's got it now. Cooper still has it. He's going to break to the outside. Backhand one. Oh, saved by Gilmour goaltender. Archer plays it along the boards now. And then that gets kicked out of the zone. That's going to come on goal. Yace is going to cover and hold on to that. Nice heads up play by Yace there. So now Mason Cooper with the face-off for the Trojans. That goes back to the defense of Gilmour. Fires a shot. That's wide. Kicking it back to the defense. Archer tried to poke that away. Coming out with it is Cooper. Bangs it off the boards. Archer pursuing. Goes up. Oh, Schwab almost got that. Now kicks back. Now into the zone. Archer pursuing on the forecheck. Intercepted by Cooper. As he's going to play that along the boards. He's got it. Oh, just lost it. As Gilmour has it. As they're going to try to play it up. Eddie Homewood now. Nice job playing the body. Knocks him off the puck. Now centering pass by Gilmour. Stick to side. Now Schwab moves that forward. And now Archer's racing as that's going to get called off. And then Gilmour with it. Nichols is going. And a shot and a save by Yace on the breakaway. And then working that up the boards are the Trojans. Gets that over to Archer. Archer now on a break. He's got a couple guys he's going to try to beat. He's going to go to the outside. Gets poked away. He's still got it. And then it gets poked away again. Gilmour looking to charge up. Homewood now with a nice stick lift. He takes the puck. He gets it out of the zone. Grace out there trying to pursue. That gets knocked back into the zone, collected by Sloan. Sloan gets it up to Archer, plays it along the boards. Over to Grace. Grace now trying to move forward with it. That gets poked away, but Archer's on the follow, or Homewood on the follow, rather. Then that comes out to Sloan. Sloan's going to make a man miss. Go in the middle. Fire shot. Just wide. Peter Koski in the corner. Held in by Nichols. Nichols has it now. He's going to throw one towards the net. That just... And it goes in! Nichols with the bouncer for the goal for Findlay! That puts your Trojans up 2-0 here with just under 30 seconds left here in the second. George Homewood takes face off for the Trojans. That's loose in the middle. Homewood still staying with it. Gets poked away by Gilmour. Peter Koski there tying him up along the line. But Gilmour comes in with a shot. Nice kick save by Yace. Now out to the point. Sent in front. Held up by Sloan. Sloan's going to cut through the middle. Following was Homewood, but then that's going to be the end of the second period. So we'll take a quick look here at our Trojan cheer squad while the teams talk about strategy and the switch sides for the start of the third. Woo! All right, welcome back here to the start of the third. Mason Beach to take the face off for the Trojans. He'll have Schaaf and Schwab with him. Sloan and Teagarden back on defense. Puck is dropped, comes back to Sloan. Sloan flips that forward over to Beach. Beach gets it down deep into the zone. Intercepted by Gilmour as it crosses the opposite corner, but there was Sloan again along the boards, and he's going to push this forward. Gets it over to Schwab. Schwab tried to fire it in. He does. Gets it down to the corner as Beach was pursuing. Now Gilmour's got it. They're going to try to push this one forward. Webb Sloan is there. He pushes them to the outside. As Gilmour tried to get to it to a man in the middle. Comes back out to the front. Yates, great save. Yates, another great save. Now centering pass. Nice stop and a save by Yates. And we'll get a line change here. Fresh legs as Nichols and Ford will come out on defense. And we've got Mason Cooper to take the face off with Archer and Grace. That goes over the corner to Archer. Battling through with Gilmour. Now Nichols has it, pokes it forward. Looking for a shot from the point was Gilmour. Got sent wide. Now tipped out in front. Cooper got a stick on it. He collects. He's going to go make a man miss. Go to the outside. That gets poked away. Then centering pass sent forward and knocked away by Fort there, and then flipped out of the zone by Archer. Grace in pursuit now. And that should be an icing. Yep, and it is. So we'll bring this all the way down, and we'll get, again, some more fresh legs for the Trojans. As George Homewood comes out to take the face-off, he'll have Burkhart and Peterkowski with him. Puck is dropped, gets that over to Burkhart, try to get that back to Nichols. And now Homewood all over him. Nice job there. Shot from the point, off of a skate. Nichols now with the back check, and then Yates with the save again. So we'll have another face-off here. George Homewood to take that. Gets it back to Nichols. Nichols now surveys options. He's going to get that up to Burkhart. That's still there. Burkhart's hustling. He's got a man to beat. He gets it down to the corner. Gets it back to Homewood. Gets it back to Nichols. Nichols, tried to take a shot that bounced off of a player. Now stick to side. Now Nichols has it again. Looks to go up the boards a little bit. Gets it up to Burkhart. Burkhart now chips it down into the zone. He's going to keep racing for it in the corner. Peterkowski joins him. Burkhart's got it. He gets it up the boards, gets that over to Eddie Homewood, keeps it in, thwarts it back down. Burkhart battling along the boards with George Homewood. Homewood gets knocked down. That comes out to Nichols, though. Nichols now playing that along the boards, gets knocked down. Peterkowski chips it forward to George Homewood, but then that bounces over his stick. Bouncing back, nice job there by Homewood, and then both Homewoods there, nice effort, but then that puck bounces in front and is chipped in by Gilmour. Looks like Gilmour got a penalty, though, too. So, goal by Gilmour, but the Trojans will go on a power play immediately after. Let's see if they can get it back. Beach with the faceoff, gets that over to Shafe. Shafe's going to carry that in and chip that into the zone. Gilmour collects, plays along the wall, but Teagarden's there. Teagarden fires a low one, but that gets intercepted by Gilmour. As they send it down the length of the ice, that'll be an icing. And we're going to take that all the way back down. Puck is dropped, goes back to the corner. Gilmour plays it around to the opposite side. Gilmour looking to clear, held in by the Trojans. Beach has it, pulls it back, fires a shot, loose in front. Oh, tipped aside by Shafe, but Gilmour goaltender able to get a piece of it. That's going to go down the length of the ice. Icing waved off as Sloan tried to play it earlier up the ice. He's going to get that up to Schwab. That's going to go forward. Schwab's going to carry now. Schwab's got it, looks over for Shafe. Shafe fires a shot, bouncing shot in the goal! That was Schwab to Shafe for the goal. Power play. 3-1 here in the third. Now Mason Cooper comes out, takes face off. He'll have Grace and Archer with him. Teagarden trying to make a play on that puck, hold it up. Gilmour able to throw it into the zone. That comes around. Webb Sloan now looking to play that in the corner. Cooper's got it now. He's trying to move it. Gilmour players sticking it to him in the back. Tried a centering pass. Shot blocked by Teagarden. Another shot blocked by Cooper. Cooper's going to chip that out. Try to get it to Archer. It comes back out. Now Lawyer's got it. He's going to push forward. He's going to try to chip that forward. Gilmour collects again. Sloan's got it. He looks and finds Archer cross ice. Archer tried to pull it out to the outside. Now he's going to try to chip it forward. Now it's chipped into the zone by Findlay. Now chipped back out. Cooper's got it. He's going to throw that in, but that's going to be offsides as Grace was hustling to leave the zone. And we'll get a defensive change here. 7 minutes, 24 seconds left here in the period as Nichols and Fort come out on defense. Mace Cooper takes center ice face-off here. Time up. He does. Grace has it. Grace tried to take that into the zone. He does finally get it into the zone after met some resistance. Now knocked out. Fort takes it opposite side of the ice. Gilmour defense collects. Then gets it past everybody along the boards. As Mason Cooper goes to play it, he's going to rip that along the boards. Opposite side. Centering pass. Tied up there by Nichols. Archer going to play that along the boards. He gets tripped up right in front of the ref. No call. Shot by Gilmour. Nice save again by Yace. It was redirected and he stretched that leg out. Now George Homewood out there with Peter Koski and Burkhart. Puck is dropped. Gilmour gets it back to the defense. Peter Koski goes up front, loose in front. Nice save by Yace. Nichols has it now. Moves in front of the net. He's going to push. He's got Gilmour players on his back. He makes some room. He cycles back. Tries to flip that towards the middle. Burkhart was there, but just got over his stick. Now Fort keeps it in. He sends it down. Burkhart playing along the boards. That's down to Peter Koski. Tried to take a shot. That hits a Gilmour player as Peter Koski stepped in. Burkhart tried to make a diving stop. Gilmour is going to send that back down. That's going to be icing. So we'll get an offensive zone face-off for the Trojans. So we'll get a defensive change as Sloan and Eddie Homewood come out. George Homewood takes face-off still with Burkhart and Peter Koski. Puck is dropped, tied up in the middle, comes out front. Burkhart's got a stick on it. Tried to play that back to the defense. Intercepted by Gilmour. George Homewood, nice job there. Shot, save by Yace. Sloan with it in the corner, battling. Chips that forward. Gets still with it, now kicked back out. Gilmour now brings it in. Peter Koski gets his skate in the way. Homewood plays it. Eddie Homewood plays along the boards, gets that out to Burkhart. Burkhart's got one to beat. He's got George with him. He gets it over to George Homewood. Oh, tried to flip it past the player. Hit the skate. So now Gilmour coming opposite side. Beach coming off the bench. Nice play. Coming out with a head of steam. Sloan tried to play that along the boards. Kicked in front by Gilmour. Sticked aside by George Homewood. He's going to push now. He's got Beach and Schaaf with him. He's going to get that up to Schaaf. Schaaf's got a little bit of a break. Oh, just goes past his stick, but Schaaf tried to center that. Now Beach playing behind the net. Gilmour gets it over the side, but Sloan holds it up. Sloan takes it down to the corner. Sloan's going to fire one in front. Oh, Schaaf got a stick on it, but just got redirected. And now knocked out of the zone. Gilmour does, so Sloan's going to slow this down for a second. Get that up. Over to Schwab. Schwab's going to send that deep into the zone. We're under 5 minutes here left in the game. That goes over to the side. Gilmour's got it. Eddie Homewood tried to hold that up. Nice effort there by Homewood. That gets tipped back down. Webb Sloan collects. Gets poked away, but he's still got it. Eddie Homewood gets it up the boards to Schwab. Hank tips it out of the zone. Cross-ice pass almost intercepted by Schaaf. Coming off the bench with it. And a shot. Yace with another good kick save. Sloan now looking for some space. Gets that up to Schwab. Schwab now tried to play that up the boards. Ran into two Gilmour players. Sloan gets it over to Schaaf, but then nice poke check there. And Teagarden takes a huge hit, but a great effort. And a shot by Beach. Gloved and covered. Great play by Teagarden as he got clocked. But he was able to get that up to Beach. And they almost had a goal on that. Hanging tough in there was Teagarden. They're checking on him. He says, I'm fine. This is nothing. My brother hits me all the time. Puck is dropped. Tied up by Cooper. Loose in front. Ben Grace is there trying to get a shot on it. He gets knocked down. Still loose. Grace tried to poke it in. And now a whistle. So Mason Cooper takes the face off with Archer and Grace. Nichols and Teagarden on defense. Puck goes back. Teagarden, nice job holding that up. And then Archer collects it and throws it back along the boards to Grace. Grace now battling in the corner with it. Grace looking for a centering pass, but that goes off the net into the opposite corner. Now fighting down in the corner with it or along the boards, far close side. And then able to get it out to neutral ice is Gilmour. Nice poke check there. Shot sent wide. Another shot blocked by Nichols. Another shot. Nice save by Yace. And another save by Yace. And a hook by a Gilmour player on Cooper right in front of the ref. No. And now Grace has it. Grace has got Teagarden. He gets taken down. That's kept in by Cooper. Cooper's going to throw that up, but that's going to hit the net, so that's going to be out of play. And we'll have a neutral zone face-off as Homewood, Burkhart, and Peter Koski come out with Fort and Nichols on defense. Puck is dropped. Goes out to Nichols, gets that into the offensive zone. Burkhardt, they're trying to get a stick on it, but Gilmour's defense able to get that there. And then Gilmour gets it between, but nice work there by Fort to get that out of the way. And now Nichols comes up with it, and now he's going to push. And that comes out. Rylan Peterkoski there tried to get that forward, but too many Gilmour sticks in the way. But Peterkoski pursuing, forces Gilmour to dump in deep. Ricky Nichols now looking to make a play along the boards, and then nice work there by George Homewood. He's going to cut up to the middle, chip that up to Burkhardt. Burkhardt's now going to chip that to the side. He's going to pull back. Puck still loose, got knocked away from him as he was looking for a center ice cutter. Now Homewood's got it. He's battling behind the net. Now Peterkoski battling as well. Now down in the corner, gets that back to Homewood. Homewood gets that out to Nichols. Nichols looking for a little bit of room. He's going to take it to the outside. He's going to force his way to the corner. That goes back behind the net now. Now George Homewood's going to play that. He gets decked. No call, no hands as he gets just blatantly brought down, but Peterkoski now battling. Peterkoski working behind the net hard. Gilmour comes out with it, but Homewood's right there. Homewood now, nice play along the boards as they try to clear. Now Peterkoski battling with it. Peterkoski centering pass, but nobody there. Tried to get it to Nichols. Tipped aside. Nichols has it now. He's going to spin. Nichols is going to take that down to the corner now. Little contact, but he's still fighting through it. Beach keeps it in, but then it gets knocked out as Beach came off the bench. But now Nichols has it. Nichols bringing it up. Then that gets knocked out of the zone. Nichols still fighting with it, though. He's still battling through. We're less than a minute here. Findlay up 3-1 right now. Gilmour coming back on a breakaway. And there's going to be a penalty there as Schwab hooks a player for Gilmour. So we'll have one in the box now. Now 40 seconds left here. Mason Beach takes face off for the Trojans. That goes back out. Beach gets in front. Yates with a nice save. Collected by Sloan. Sloan throws that up the boards. Knocked back in by Nichols, but Sloan tried to get that through. Centering pass for Gilmour. Nice save by Yates. Gilmour another pass and a cover by Yates. .21 seconds left in the game. Findlay man down. Puck is dropped. Mason Cooper gets that face-off, wraps it around. 15 seconds left. Shot by Gilmour. Webb Sloan knocks it to the corner. He's going to try to hold it. He gets thrilled in the corner, and we're going to have a penalty on Gilmour. So we'll skate 4-on-4. Sloan is up. Glad to see him up. Gilmour should have a player in the box for that. Oh, he's out of the game. He was tossed. Sorry, Gilmour player was tossed. So we'll skate 4-on-4 remainder of the game. 6 seconds left. That goes back out to Teagarden. Teagarden's going to hold that along the boards. That gets chipped aside. And that's going to be the end of the game. As the Trojans secure victory here in game 3. So a win, a loss, and a tie. They'll play in a game tomorrow. Time not known yet. But I can guarantee you we will be broadcasting it live. So watch for that. Should be in the morning. We bring you that action tomorrow morning. Probably sometime between the 10:30 and 11 a.m. time. So, and then the Saturday evening victorious to your Trojans. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, everyone, and we'll catch you tomorrow morning. Thanks, as always, for watching.